My role is Director for Children's Services at Parkerville Children and Youth Care, and basically I oversee the therapeutic care program. The therapeutic care program provides care for children in out-of-home care. That consists of family group homes, which are staffed by professional primary carers and respite carers, and also children placed in the community with community carers. Community carers is basically a voluntary role, but they still provide support from all the staff within the therapeutic care program. Children that are placed in out-of-home care with Parkerville are referred by the Department for Child Protection, and these children are identified as being in need of protection from their caregivers and are placed either with Parkerville or similar agencies to provide them with care that they're not perhaps receiving at home and to keep them safe from abuse. Well, I've always admired the sort of work that Parkerville can do for children living in out-of-home care. I was a mature age student that studied psychology, and whilst working in the country in Port Hedland, I got the opportunity to work for a not-for-profit organisation there, and I really enjoyed the work I did working with the young people. But when I moved to Perth, it was a good opportunity then to learn more about working within child protection, and I worked for the Department for Child Protection for almost 6 years in a variety of different roles. The beauty of coming to work for an organisation like Parkerville is the ability to provide so many more supports and opportunities for children in out-of-home care. So we have the ability to provide them with properly matched professional carers, either in the community or family group homes. We've got the ability to provide them with counselling through psychologists in the therapeutic family service program. We also have occupational therapists on staff, teachers and social work trained case managers to really provide a full wraparound service so the children have the best opportunities for their future when placed with Parkerville. Therapeutic care program is really sort of a methodology of working with traumatised children. So what we ask of the staff that work in the program, that everybody adopts this approach. When children come into our program, they have suffered abuse. They're very traumatised, not only from the abuse, but being removed from their families. And really the only way to kind of heal these children, repair and provide them with different learning opportunities is to provide them with a very consistent approach. So the carers are consistent in the way they parent the children, the staff are consistent in the way that they work with the children. We set up predictable sort of ways that the children can interact with peers, adults, and hopefully their families, with the hope that one day they may return to their families. And if that's not possible for all children, that the therapeutic care approach has provided them with a way to learn a different way of living that is not filled with abuse and trauma. Well, we receive our referrals from the Department for Child Protection, and once I receive those, we have a look to see, one, if we have a suitable placement for the child, or any vacancies that we can possibly look at for this young person. I also forward the referrals through the Director of Therapeutic Services and the case manager that might potentially be case managing the child to get some input from them as to whether or not they think this child would be a good match for other children in a family group home situation or with carers who have their own children. Once we've decided to accept a child, we meet with a planning meeting with the Department for Child Protection and look at a transition to support both the child, the carers and other children in the placement for the child to have the best start that they can. Once a child is placed with Parkerville Children and Youth Care, they're allocated a case manager who will support them in getting them enrolled in schools, support the carers to look at strategies to working with the young person and develop a therapeutic care plan that looks at all their dimensions of well-being, whether it be health, emotional, social, so we can really target strategies to provide the child with a good start. The child may also need individual counselling, and a lot of those decisions are made once the psychologists have completed a comprehensive assessment. That may involve cognitive tests to see how the child's intelligence is and how their cognitive functioning is. We may require the teacher to do some academic tests to see what level they're working at within school, so we can really target any sort of plan that we may have for this young person. So it really looks at any areas of weakness, so we can perhaps build on those and also support them and develop their strengths further. And there may be a range of different things that are like out of school activities that might build and assist them with developing social skills. So there's a whole range of things that we can do. Within the family group homes, the case manager meets regularly. That could be weekly with the respite carer, the primary carer, and we also have a psychologist attached to the care team. We may also have a teacher and or the occupational therapist attend that care team. And within that weekly care team, the children are discussed at length, where we look at the care plans and we look at what things have been happening for that child in their life and whether or not we need to change tack, look at putting in place different strategies just to keep the child moving forward in a positive way. The main challenges that come to mind are geographical, social issues and staffing. Geographical, I actually oversee staff and children placed as far south as Fremantle and as far north as Carnarvon. We have 4 family group homes in the Murchison area, so it is obviously difficult to attract and retain staff in remote West Australian locations. In regards to the social issues, drugs and alcohol play an important part in the types of children that are now placed in out-of-home care. But what is most difficult is the irreversible damage that drugs and alcohol can do to children in utero. So sometimes these children have significant brain damage, and there's only so much we can do to provide them with great opportunities if the damage has already been done. Saying that, we do see a lot of successes with the children placed in our program with very varying backgrounds. In regards to staffing, working with children that are traumatised and abused can be extremely challenging for staff. The carers work with them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and although supported by case managers, psychologists, teachers, and occupational therapists, it can be very hard, and they are the brunt usually of the child when they're angry at their family or distressed or perhaps experiencing some sort of trigger for them about their abuse. The staff can get burnt out, but with the right support and supervision from their case managers, the job can be very rewarding, and really that's what attracts those very special people to the role, is the rewards that they can get from working with young people in crisis.